Okay, I'm really excited. I'm really excited because there is so much that we have available to us. All possibility is available. And we get stuck in these ruts of thinking where we think what we have in front of us is all there is. And sometimes it takes somebody coming and like whacking you up the side of the head and saying, hello, wake up. There's more to life than what you're seeing. There's more. There's infinite possibility. I am come that ye might have life and that you might have it more abundantly. So that's what we're told. And that's what's true. But where does that come from? Like, where does that sense of possibility and that sense of infinite expansion, where does that come from? Spiritual sense. Spiritual sense is that lens through which we can see reality and see the ultimate possibilities of man. That's where it sits. So if we're not cultivating our spiritual sense, we're not using our spiritual sense, we're not looking through those spiritual lenses, we're missing the infinite possibilities of life. Life is meant to be expansive. Life is meant to be full. Life is meant to be infinite. If we're feeling limited, what does that tell us? It tells us we're looking at life as material. Because the only place limitation exists is in matter. The only place limitation exists is believing that we're separate from the infinite. If we are the actual manifestation, reflection of the divine, infinite mind, love, spirit, life, infinite life, there's nothing limited in that. Nothing. Life is good. Life is filled with possibility. Life is eternal. So any limitation on that idea comes from that false sense of ego that tries to separate us from the infinite, tries to make us believe and take on a limitation that that's not the reality of our being. So the science that we're studying, this science, these laws of good, the law of God, the law of good, right? That's what the definition of the science is. The law of God, the law of good, interpreting and demonstrating the divine principle and rule of universal harmony. You can say infinite harmony. You can say all possibility of harmony. But this science reveals, what Mrs. Eddy says, science reveals the glorious possibilities of immortal man, forever unlimited by the mortal senses. This science reveals the glorious possibilities of man. So when you're stuck in a situation, there's someone I'm working with now who's looking for a job, looking for their path in life, looking for what's possible, what's next, where do I live? Do I stay married? You know, all kind of everything is up, right? What does that field look like moving forward? And you have your version of that, right? Everybody has a version of that. What's up for you right now? What does your field look like? Are you seeing this field as full of and open to complete and total possibility? Or do you limit yourself? Do you take on a picture of something and they go, oh no, I can't do that? Like, does something present itself and you go, oh, I can't do that because I don't have the degree, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the money, or I don't have money and time tend to be big limiters. They try to be big limiters on people. I don't have the time. I don't know. I can't afford that. Be careful. Be careful what you state. Be alert. I was going to be careful. Be alert to what you claim in your thinking, because a lot of us don't even say it out loud. We just discount stuff. Oh no, I can't do that. I've never been able to do that. I've never been good at blah, blah, blah. Be alert to those lies and suggestions. Those are not the truth of who you are. all possibility is available to each and every one of us. And if there's limiting belief going on, that's the thing that you want to discard, chuck to the side and say, nope, not buying it today. So I was talking to somebody the other day, and this analogy came up, and I really like this. It's like if you order takeout food, it comes to your door, right? Well, you have to get up out of your seat when the doorbell rings, and you have to go open the door to receive the food that's been delivered to you. So all of this, like takeout, all of these possibilities are being delivered to your front door all the time. Do we get up out of the chair when the doorbell rings and go open the door? Or are we sitting there going, oh no, that's not for me. No, I can't get up. I don't, I can't carry that big bag in from the door. That's too much. Like, how many times do we just shut it down before even taking the step? Because sometimes, and here's the really interesting thing, sometimes the first step we are inclined, we are prompted to take by an angel thought, that first step a lot of times is not the final step. A lot of times that step is kind of like the little, are you willing? Are you willing? Are you willing to just trust? Are you willing to take a step? And generally speaking, that first step that we're being prompted to take is the very thing that is the opposite of the belief that sits inside of you. It's the very thing that challenges the limiting belief. And are you willing to overcome that first step, that first limiting belief that comes up that says, no, I can't? Are you willing to challenge it? Because when we're willing to challenge the first one, we get to the door, we open the door, then we're presented with another challenge. We open the door, it's like, oh my gosh, too many bags, I can't carry this many. Well, we have an option, we have a choice, like, right? We're always in that moment of choice. Okay, in this moment, am I going to buy into the suggestion that there's another limitation that's limiting me, or am I going to see the possibility in this scenario? Oh, great, so many bags, so much wonderful. Would you mind coming in and placing it on the table for me? There's always the possibility. Here, let me take half of those, and could you bring the other half in here? There's always the possibility of seeing good. Life is good. Life is not meant to be a drag, or full of limitation, or full of pain, or full of lack. That's not what life is. Life is abundant. That I might have life, and I might have it more abundantly. The possibilities are limitless. Glorious possibilities of immortal man, forever unlimited by the mortal senses. So what does that tell us? It means the mortal senses are the only things that are limiting life. The mortal senses are the only place limitation exists. So spiritual sense is where freedom exists, where unlimited possibility exists. There's a thing in another book that says the spiritual sense of life and its grand pursuits. I love the language. This is definitely 1800s. The spiritual sense of life, and that's L, capital L, right? Life, divine life, and its grand pursuits is of itself a bliss. This pursuit that you're on right now is of itself a bliss, meaning this pursuit of immortal life, of spiritual sense, of this science that is so incredibly powerful and opens up so many doors to our understanding, this itself brings happiness, brings satisfaction. It is itself a bliss, health-giving and joy-inspiring. It's health-giving. So just the pursuit of this science is health-giving. It makes us understand more of our own health. This sense of life, and I love this, illumines our pathway with the radiance of divine love. How many of us would like that? How many of us would like our pathway to be illumined with divine love? It heals man spontaneously. morally and physically. How many of us would like that? Being healed spontaneously, morally and physically. Exhaling the aroma of Jesus' own words, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." It's a really nice quote. Spiritual sense of life is what gives us that. So all possibility is available. All good is available. And it is only that mortal sense of limitation that would blind us to what's available to us. So, you know the parable of the sower and the seed, right? And when the seed falls on good soil, all things grow and everything's wonderful, right? So what is that good soil in our thought, where this idea takes root and grows, and we start to feel, instead of feeling limited, we start to feel, oh, kind of hopeful, like everything is possible. My eyes are open to possibility, not to limitation. They're not closed by limitation, they're open to possibility. So we want to be forever in that state of, I'm looking for good. I'm looking for and seeing possibility. It's like there has to be a pony in here somewhere. It's, I'm waiting in the miracle line. It's all of those things, those little phrases that I love to repeat, because it shifts our consciousness into hope and faith and understanding, hope and faith based in understanding, right? That all good is possible. Health is available to me right here, right now. It's not some distant land that I need to trudge to. It's available right here, right now. Not distant, not forever out of sight, not forever out of touch, available right here, right now. Looking back at yesterday, at Lazarus. If Jesus had believed that Lazarus had died in his body, he never would have been able to raise him. He understood that Lazarus was asleep to his own life. He was asleep to the reality of his being. And he just needed to be woken up. The reality of his being was present and available. He was asleep to it in that moment. Are we asleep to the good in our life? Are we sleeping through being blinded by the material senses, the mortal, limited sense of things that the ego would love for us to take on and call reality? That false sense of ego, just, it's not a friend. And it tries to trick us into being our friend, and it's not our friend. So infinite possibility is available. And that's exciting. And it feels like breath comes into your lungs, breath comes into your life, breath comes into your thinking. It opens, it's like going into the cottage in the spring and flinging open all the doors and opening the curtains and ripping the sheets off the couches and all the dust flying, right? It's like breathing fresh air into life, into our expression of life, and looking outward and upward instead of down and in a closed tunnel. So today, I just offer the idea to all of us, I include myself, look at our lives and see what's possible. See what can shift. What can you welcome in? What doorbells are you not hearing or not responding to? The doorbells are going off all the time. Are you getting up out of the chair and answering the door and receiving the gift? Because there are gifts being handed to us all the time. And a lot of times it's like calling for takeout food. We've ordered it. We've ordered the gifts. We've wanted good to come flowing into our life. And then when the doorbell rings, we don't get our butts up out of the chair because we don't believe it. Oh no, that's too good to be true. Listen for the doorbell, get your butt up out of the chair, go answer the door, receive the gift. The gift is there. And if you need help carrying the gift, ask them to help you bring it in. Angels are they're very kind. They'll actually help you. If you don't understand the gift, or if you think you don't understand the gift, you think it's too big, you think it's like, wait, this is too unwieldy, I don't get it. Ask for help. Lock arms with somebody. Call a friend. Like that old, what was it, the $1 million, what was that thing? Call a friend was one of the options. Poll the audience, call a friend, or get a free answer. I forget, I don't know. The $1 million something. Anyway, call a friend, phone a friend, phone an angel, listen for the answer. It's available to all of us. No one is left out. No one is at a place in their life where, oh, they just don't understand. No, not true. You do understand. And the Christ, truth consciousness, the divine sense of life, the Christ, is communicating to your level of understanding in this moment. The language that you need to hear and understand is being spoken to you. Whatever that language is, in whatever terms you need in order to hear it and absorb it. So there isn't the possibility of, oh, I don't understand this. That's not even possible. Just listen. Because, you know, angels, God, the divine, spirit, soul, all of these wonderful attributes of God, they're all available and present right here, right now. Okay, let's bring it in. Yeah, I thought, you know, that quote that I read, it's from an article called The New Birth. So that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about waking up that part of us that has died, waking up that part of us that mortal sense has tried to make us believe has died. Wait, the new birth, like in this moment, everything is new. Everything is available and possible. And I love that. It's like, that's cool. Like a whole new world. And I almost broke into song there, but I didn't. Okay. Yeah, Disney has that way of getting into our brains. You can sing it to yourselves. All right. Much love to you all. Those of you who are VIPs, please make your appointments because I have a pretty full schedule coming up. So, and I'm working with a number of people individually. I do have, just so you guys know, I do have some like VIP clients. And if you're interested in sort of applying to that realm of things, which is like much more one-on-one consistent work together, just let me know. I don't really like put it out there anywhere, but if you're interested in that kind of thing, just be in touch with me and we can talk. But so much love to you. This is, I just can't tell you how much I love this group. I really, really appreciate you guys. And you're all amazing. You all have very individual gifts. And I just really appreciate what you're bringing to the table because you inspire me. So All right. Love you. Have great, wonderful moments today. Think in possibility.